Hi beautiful people, welcome back. Hope everybody is doing fantastic wherever you are in this world. Hope everybody is doing great, keeping warm. And for all those guys that experienced that miserable weather the weekend, I hope you guys are doing okay. I know when I used to stay in Virginia and it's just snow like that, and then the next few days when the snow turns to ice, it is absolutely miserable, especially driving in it. So I hope everybody is warm, everybody is safe, and everybody is just doing well. Everything on my side has been going great. Getting my parents settled in has been absolutely amazing. But you also got to understand that we're so used to them just being here for a month vacation. So it still feels like they're on vacation, but it's still going to settle in that they're truly here to stay. And it's absolutely amazing. I will not take a day for granted. Absolutely not a single day. Also, you guys have been so busy with the kids at school. My high schooler, she's actually so busy with robotics. She's doing fantastic at school. Being back at school has actually made such a difference, and they did not do well with virtual learning because my kids are the, person to person type. They like to ask questions. They're very inquisitive. They want to know, if they have a question, be able to talk to the teacher and discuss things. And it's been working out so well. So in 2 weeks' time, I'm actually going down with my daughter who's on the robotics team at her school, and they're going to Auburn for a robotics competition, and that will be in 2 weeks' time. So I'm excited about that. Truly am. And I couldn't be happier for them. They are truly excelling in school, and it makes me so happy knowing that they are doing well, they're happy, and they're all where they need to be at this point. Besides that, there has been so much going on. I've been sent so many clips. People have been sending me so much in regard to KJ. And I'm like, there comes a time where you truly do feel sorry for a person. But then also, when are they going to get it? The reason I feel sorry for her is the mere fact is that it seems like she's a very lonely person. Very lonely. And she's missing out on so much. But also at the end of the day, when it comes to a person that thinks that they are above it all, they know it all, cannot be told what to do, what can you do? But just let them be. So before we get into it, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and the notification bell so be notified each time I upload. Also, please do not take what I say as fact. Feel free to do your own research and come to your own conclusion. I did a live where she was explaining that she has been so lucky and been afforded the time not to upload so much and stop pushing out so much content.
Hi guys. So, how is everyone? Is everyone good? Having a good day? Okay. So, I did not upload 2 days in a row. And that is not because I didn't want to. It was because I had a lot of research to do. And I have been spending, I've been really thinking about what I want to do with my channel this year. It's a new year, obviously, and I've grown quite a bit, which is affording me a little bit more flexibility in that I don't have to chug out so much content.
But then after that live, it was like, okay, something definitely happened.
I need to get something off my chest, and then I need to go to bed. I did a post, and people are trying to feel sorry for me, but I don't want people to feel sorry for me because I'm not trying to make people feel sorry for me. I'm just trying to stand up for what's right, and I'm just trying to people don't get that the last 2 days I've needed to seriously decompress.
And as you can see in this live, she says why I have not been uploading on YouTube. And in this live, she actually said that she has been growing so much. She's actually been afforded, and I quote, afforded the time and not to be uploading so much. And that she took the 2 days off to actually do some research. But this live, she says she has to take those 2 days, and her demeanor was totally different. And she had to take those 2 days to decompress, So something definitely happened in between her first life, where she was feeling herself, she was so all about herself, and in my opinion, bragging about the fact that she's has grown so much. And in my opinion, I don't think it's organic, but it's neither here nor there. I truly think that she is panicking because Emily D. Baker is catching up to her. But that's just my thoughts. You know what? It is what it is. But then she goes on and she makes this live where she states that she has been dealing with all these people, bullshit people, for 3 months, and she had to take these 2 days to decompress. But check this out.
Because I have had some of the worst human beings on the phone with me and in my inbox and trying to suck my ass to get me to not post shit that's not favorable to them. And they think that because they're calling the Duggars out, that I'm somehow supposed to ignore their crimes, which is stupid. Nothing happened. I'm just calling shit out for what it is. I am going to say this. If you have committed a sexual crime against a child, I don't have sympathy for you. If you are punching your children in the face, I don't have sympathy for you. If you are setting your children up with child molesters, I don't have sympathy for you. If you're justifying corporal punishment, I don't have sympathy for you. And if you're contacting me trying to figure out who I'm talking to because you are afraid that I have information about you, but you are then pointing the finger at the Duggars, the reason why nobody in this world speaks out, I'll tell you the truth, you guys. Once you get inside it, they're all criminals. Every one of them are criminals.
Katie Joy, that's a huge, bold statement to make. That all these people are criminals. Well, I trust that you do have your lawyer on retainer, but you are the type of person that feels you're invincible, but to state something that is truth. So if something is truth, something is fact. So all these people, and I assume you're talking about Amy, her husband, the Duggars, and all those people, just my assumption, they're criminals.
They're all doing horrible things to their kids. They're all hiding horrible secrets, and they're all justifying it under the guise of God. Do you know how many people in the last 3 months have told me that God mandates them to beat their children? Do you know how many have inappropriately spoken about sex and been wholly disgusting while I'm talking to them, while their wives are there, and their wives don't say a damn word? I'm a professional, and I don't give a shit who you are.
Hold up, Katie Joy. Hold up. If you are professional, then I am definitely a virgin.
Sexually harassed.
Yes, you did.
I don't even remember. We were on a stream. I was not ever friends with him. I never did streams with him. And then all of a sudden he starts talking to a member and his performance. Okay, so you said sexual harass. Okay, I forgot. It's been 2 years. Does it matter what I called it?
Yeah.
It does, because a man that's talking about his penis to a woman who's married while they're working.
Wait, something you have to discuss. Like, are you the power bottom? Am I the top?
Oh man, just to go real quickly through it. You have tops and bottoms, right? Power bottom and power tops are subsets of those two groups. Some people may not, but I think that sex is important, and so in order to make sure that you're on the same page and it's not a complete shock when you get to that point and one of you is expecting the other to you have that conversation ahead of time. So yes, you do have that conversation beforehand.
Interesting. That's good to know. Kind of like with, heteros where they're like, do you do anal?
No, no, I don't think that's quite right. I don't know many people that have the do you do anal before you go on a date? I don't know that that's the case. I mean, if you do.
Oh, I do. I know people that I do. I literally know plenty of girls that love the anal. Trust.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you guys can let me know if you're interested in the live chat in having a conversation one day about these sort of things, because it may be interesting for people to hear.
I would love.
It might be a crime, but it's not like I pressed charges. he didn't go to jail for.
File a restraining order against anyone. I could file a police report. I'm going to have hell to pay in court. I'm reporting this to YouTube. I'm going to freaking sue his ass. She's threatening me by intimidation to stop saying what I'm going to say. I'm fearful. She sent that information to the prosecutor. Screenshots of threats from her fans, or they want to kick my ass. I hope I die. I'm not going to be intimidated and bullied and harassed. I don't want her to get in trouble, but I also don't want to be her. Was I concerned? Kind of. She wasn't really screaming at me. She was like yelling at. She's not allowed to talk about it.
This tiny perceived injustice. I said, you illegally recorded me. I was angry. I apologize. How am I accusing you of a crime if you knew you weren't clear? Your video where you accused me of accusing you of a crime got you 40,000 views. I lost subscribers. You are doing this to defame, discredit, and to harass me.
But like, I just want to say something. Like, just because you're an alpha man and you exist in a world where you think that you're holier than thou doesn't give you the right to be like sexually inappropriate with women just because you think you can. Like, these men, so many of them have no boundaries. But I'm going to stand my ground and say, like, punching your kids in the face is fucked up. It's fucked up. Jim Bob telling friends, get your wife under control.
Todd, come get your girl.
Tell her to stop talking. But yet, the friends that they're saying this to are in that world too. And then they try to like pretend like they're somehow better. None of these people are better. If you're going to blow a whistle, you need to blow the whistle on yourself. And that's why this world exists. I've figured it out. I've spent the better part of 2 years trying to figure out why the secrets in this world stay hidden. It's because they're all guilty. They're all doing shit that's like so horrible. And they're doing it under the guise of religion. And that's what pisses me off more than anything. Because I'm an atheist. And these people are so disrespectful to the fact that I have no faith. And they act like I'm so horrible as a human being because I'm not godly enough. And they also love to talk about how I'm bisexual and how they still like me despite my bisexuality. Thank you. Thank you for putting up with the fact that I'm a bisexual human being.
Amy Duggar was the only one to call out her bisexuality. Amy Duggar was the one to call an atheist. So to put all this in a big ball and try to deter us from who you're actually speaking about, it just doesn't make any sense, okay? And what has your bisexuality got to do with all this? What? So please don't tell people, oh, don't feel sorry for me. I'm not looking for pity. That's exactly what you're looking for, as pity.
I don't put up with the fact that you punch your children in the face. And I don't put up with the fact that you enable horrible behavior. I am sick for the kids in this cult that grow up with these men and they think it's normal. I'm sick for the women that are married to these men that justify it and feel like they need to defend it. I'm learning so much how these women are coached by their husbands to pretend like what they're going through isn't abuse. I have been on the phone with women knowing that their husbands are abusing them, knowing that their husbands are beating them, and hearing them defend their husbands because they know that if they don't, they're going to get their asses beat. These women don't believe that it's happening to them. Or if it is happening to them, they believe that it's justified. It's sad. When I say that the women are as sick as the men, it's not a lie. The women they start out just innocent and they become the abuse targets of their husband, and then they turn into the abuse targets of their children, and they abuse their children along with their husbands at their husband's direction, and then they protect their husbands and the abuse of the children, and then they hide the secrets of their husbands because they don't want their husbands to be arrested, but they also know that they're guilty too. I don't think the women mean to get that way. I don't feel like they mean to go there. But once you cross the threshold from victim to perpetrator, you lose the ability to say I'm a victim, because you've then turned your victimization into victimizing someone else. Someone has to break the cycle. Someone has to say enough. And no amount of lying, and no amount of saying that it's not true, and no amount of saying, well, we never pretended to be perfect, or we weren't lying like the Duggars, that doesn't justify it. So just because you didn't get a show doesn't mean that you're hitting your kids is any better. The illness that this cult has is so disturbing, and I'm so tired of these people trying to control my platform and being threatened by them that if I don't follow their rules, they're going to publicly trash me or disparage me. I'm not in a cult, and I'm not your muse, and I'm not, you can't control me. I live in the real world. I don't live in the world where gross men abuse their kids and punch them. It's disgusting. And do not feel sorry for me. I'm not doing this for pity. I'm not a victim of this. This isn't me feeling sad for myself. This is me just calling out horrible behavior.
Something definitely happened between KJ's first Instagram live to a second Instagram live where she keeps insisting, don't feel sorry for me. No, this is feel sorry for me, and guard dogs get her or get them. Because check this out. She said she is not going to stand for kids and women being abused, kids being punched in the face, these men controlling the woman, and especially the fact when she says that these men are sexually harassing her with their wives present. So this is my question. She had no problem reporting Steve McRae for doing the same thing. So why is she not reporting these men? You have all this information about kids being punched in their face, kids being abused, women being abused. You're not reporting it to authorities. You feel it's a better idea to come and speak about this on your Instagram platform where you are gaining followers. So that's more important to Katie Joy. So if you've got all this information that you're speculating on, in my opinion, it's better for your Instagram followers to know than protecting or trying to help those women and children. Something doesn't figure out here for me. It definitely doesn't. Because who is reaching out to her for the past 3 months, as she says? So could it have been now that somebody close to Amy or connected to Amy contacted her? Because let's go back, okay? When she was doing the deep dive into the finances of the Duggars, that was the time she felt it was necessary to tell us that Amy Duggar is friends with Trevor Story's daughter. Trevor Story, who is Josh Duggar's attorney. She had to tell us that Deanna Duggar is using the same attorney as Jim Bob Duggar, and that Amy Duggar is using the same accountant as Jim Bob Duggar. All of a sudden, she needed to make us aware that they are closer to the Duggars than we think.
I've had to hold back so much for like 3 months because I've had to be like walking the tightrope of them giving me information, but also placating their horrible behavior. It isn't just Amy that tries to control what's on my platform. What Amy does is a symptom of what this whole cult does. Every single one of them tries to control this platform. All of them. All of them. And Amy might want to be distanced from this, but Amy Duggar profited off of this, became famous from this.
Before I go on my tangent, I just want to explain something, okay? First of all, I'm not taking Amy King's side in any way. You guys know what's right is right and wrong is wrong with me, period, okay? This all stemmed from when Amy did an Instagram live impersonating somebody with a southern accent, okay? I had no idea what was going on. Maybe I'm just ignorant to the fact, but I had no idea. Then Miss Katie Joy decided to come on an Instagram live and be like a giddy teenager and broadcast how she was deceased on what Amy had done on her Instagram live. Now, first of all, if you don't feel threatened by somebody, they're basically non-existent in your life. So why would you go ahead and specifically talk about Backwards Barbie to one of your BFFs? Why would you let them know that this person hates you and want to cause drama with that person or want to disparage that person? Just lets me know where your mind frame is. So Backwards Barbie must be some kind of threat to you, that you had the need to tell Amy that Backwards Barbie hates you. Katie, let me tell you something. Me personally, I always say I can only speak for myself. I don't hate anybody. I teach my kids. They know not even to use the word hate. But you have it in your mind that the world hates you. That just proves the type of person you are and how you operate. So you have a very heavy heart for a lot of people out there. But anyway, like I said, she went on her Instagram live as she was deceased and broadcasted how Amy actually made this Instagram live talking about Backwards Barbie. But after listening to Backwards Barbie, she said she never even knew about Amy. So was this a setup, or did Amy think let me protect my friend? Let me stand up for my friend, which was a childish way of doing it. I've done a video about this. I've called her out. She said she apologized to Backwards Barbie. Not my apology to accept. I spoke to her via DMs. She said she's sorry. Not my apology to accept. It's all up to Backwards Barbie how she wants to accept it or not accept it. Okay? But another thing, when Katie Joy's husband, the man-child, was in her presence and mocked Backwards Barbie, why isn't she holding him accountable for that? Why isn't Katie Joy putting him in his place? Why isn't Katie Joy going after him for doing this to Backwards Barbie? Sitting in the presence of his wife on Instagram and mocking another woman and her accents? He needs to get a life. He needs to get off his ass and go get a job. So everything, in my opinion, went downhill from there. Things were going back and forth, back and forth. She came on her Instagram live and made this whole hoopla about how Amy is scared of her uncle Jim Bob and that Jim Bob is in Amy's ear. No, I made that clear. I spoke to Amy. And obviously Amy did not like the fact Katie Joy is now dragging her mother Deanna. But let's not forget, like how Katie Joy, you're going to hear saying how everybody is kissing her ass, Amy's ass. She was kissing their ass first.
Knew her siblings were or her cousins knew about the corporal punishment. Maybe she spoke out about it, but it didn't stop her from being on the show. It didn't stop her mom from being on the show after the scandal happened with Josh. It didn't stop them from having a relationship with them despite what Josh was doing. It didn't stop any of that. Like, if you didn't want to have a relationship, all you had to do was separate yourself. Like, nobody forced you to continue in that situation. So it's hard for me to feel sorry for people that continued to be a prof of it.
KJ, clearly you don't know the concept of family. You know, mom, dad, uncle, aunt, cousins. You have no clue about that because it's like, as I said, it's like you live in a bubble. You don't venture out, maybe too scared to venture out, but you have no concept of family. Who are you to judge, Miss Deanna or Amy, for keeping in contact with your family? Fucked up what Jim Bob and Michelle did. Absolutely fucked up. And it's like it's their burden to bear why they did what they did by protecting their son. But you cannot fault Miss Deanna or Amy for keeping in contact. Could have been for the sake of their cousins. You actually bring up the fact that Amy profited and got fame from this. Isn't that normal? Anybody would do that. If you were given the opportunity to have a reality TV show, I don't even think you would think twice about it.
I'm sad. I'm sad for Amy. Because Amy doesn't deserve this. Because Amy's voice is being silenced. Because Amy is the only damn woman in this family that grew up learning that it was okay for her to wear what she wanted, to love who she wanted, to live how she wanted, to have a choice and to matter. And when that woman's choice is silenced, Amy, we love you. Amy, you have met a friend in me, and I will never stop fighting. Because I know that you love your family and you can't do anything to help them. And I cannot imagine what that must feel like to have no power, control, or ability to protect people that you love, that you know that could potentially be harmed. And Amy, we stand with you. Amy, you'll be back. I'm sorry this had to come down.
She's freaking out at me because why? Because I know the truth about the people that are around her, because I know that she's friends with people that abuse their children, because I know that she and her husband's businesses are struggling because they've made their name off the Duggars' name and everything is crumbling now. When they got the money, it didn't stop them. They allowed themselves to be controlled by Jim Bob. They allowed themselves to not speak out and be afraid and intimidated for what?
So the moment KJ realizes, oh shit, I lost the only friend I ever had left, she decides to go after Amy Rachel King. And what's the only way she goes after people? By pulling their financials. Please let me know, who else on YouTube does this kind of thing? And I mean that sincerely. Because I've never seen anybody go down this hole of going and digging up people's financials. That is all the way fucked up.
Jim Bob and Mary gave Amy a house. Amy got 2 properties when Mary died. I don't know beyond that, but they still were on the show after they claimed they weren't on the show. She told me on my channel she was never on Counting On, and I found videos and episodes of her on Counting On. I found numerous times where she tried to not be honest with me. And it's like, when everything was going great, it was fine.
You saying Amy lied to you. Couldn't she just have forgotten? You said that when everything was good, it was good for Amy. I think you both felt the same way. You could both be messy together. So take responsibility where you need to. But you, Katie Joy, you're definitely not capable of that, in my opinion.
But then at the same time, she knows about the rods that are in those houses, and she knew about the rod of encouragement, and she still was on the show. Like, if you're going to be against corporal punishment, why would you be on a show with your sibling or your cousins and your family when you know that your aunt and uncle are using a rod on them? Why? Because it made you famous? Because it gave you exposure? Why?
Okay, for you out there that don't know, but in the state of Arkansas, corporal punishment is legal. It's very much legal. And maybe Amy was just there to support her cousins, was there for their cousins to know, you know what, I'm here for you guys. There's shit I can do to help you, but I'm here for you. And another thing, KJ, I'm so glad you never grow up in a third world country. Because, as I say, we're around about the same age, 4 years difference. But our corporal punishment, I've seen some kids being beat. So, since then you're doing shit to help these kids, maybe you should let it go.
If you're against corporal punishment, why would you want to be associated with the show? In my mind, if my family had a show like that and they were doing that, I would want nothing to do with it. So now, to be self-righteous and against it, it just seems hypocritical. And to be screaming and yelling at anyone that points out what's happening, it's ridiculous. And then to act like you were so against it, but when it was working, you profited off of it. And when so many times I tried to work with this girl and she would just flat out lie to me. She wanted a singing career. She wanted a reality show. No, she never screamed or yelled at me. No, I never said that. I mean, if I said that now, it's like, no, she never screamed and yelled at me. But she told me about the rod of encouragement. Ask her. Ask Amy about the rod of encouragement. Ask her about everything that she knows about corporal punishment, because she knows it. That's like the only thing she ever told me. Otherwise, she really doesn't know anything. But if you know your cousins are getting beaten, why were you on a show with them? Why were you helping perpetuate their fame? That's what she told me. She acted like she knew nothing. The blanket training everyone knows about. But she told me about the rod of encouragement. She even showed me a picture of what they look like. Other people told me about it too. So she wasn't the only one. It wasn't like that was the only person that was giving me that information. But you were okay with the rod of encouragement? Like, I just don't get it. She was an adult when she was on the show. No, she didn't know anything about Josh touching his sisters. That's the one thing the Duggars kept hidden. Like, they did not tell them about that. And I believe that. I believe wholeheartedly they did not tell them about that. And now to discredit me, she's lying to people and saying that she never invited me to her come stay with her, which is such a bullshit. You guys saw the live stream. And then she's trying to say that I said that I was going to go to her place and stay at her house for the trial. Not true. I didn't even know if I was going to go to the trial.
If you want to go back on an Instagram you did months ago with Dylan and Amy, they could have invited you then, but one invitation doesn't last for a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? And let's not forget, you sat on your Instagram live and said they want you to come. They want you to come for moral support. You don't have to worry about security, because if Amy and Deanna's there, nothing will happen to you.
Right now, we're working on
trying to figure out if I'm going to go to the trial or not. Amy has asked me to go. Amy wants me to go with her for moral support, and I just got to figure out if I can go. We're also there's a lot of considerations that I have to think about if I'm going to go. You guys, there's like safety issues for me, like serious safety considerations that I would have to consider. If I go, I won't have my computer. I'll be able to bring my laptop, but my laptop does not have the same capabilities. If I do any reporting, it would have to be from my phone. So it's not going to be the same content or quality, but there's a lot of people in Arkansas that want to talk to me and want to meet me and Deanna with me. And nothing's going to happen to Amy and Deanna. They're already talking about how to keep me safe. Don't worry about it. There's a lot of people down there that want me to come down. Yes, Jim Bob's sister wants me to come down for the trial, and Amy, his niece, wants me to go with her. Me going would be less about reporting and more about meeting people, bringing you updates if I can, as I can, but meeting people, being there for people. To support Amy, to support Deanna. Yeah. If you're Amy and Deanna and you're related to these people and they've lied to you your whole lives about every aspect of their lives, and they've withheld the most deepest, darkest secrets and exposed you to a predator by putting you on a show with the predator, and then lied to you for years following that, like, it's could be the only time they actually get answers. And they can't rely on Jim Bob to give them any answers. So the only way that they are going to get answers is if they go to court. I considered going to the trial, but to be honest, I had multiple people, not Amy, offer to let me stay with them, and I was uncomfortable with all of it. I wanted to stay at a hotel if I was there, but I didn't want to go there by myself. It's not like we're not against Amy. I'm against the lying. I'm against all of the lies. And not all of them lie. Like, Derek Dillard doesn't, you might not agree with everything that he says, but Derek Dillard doesn't lie. Like, he just doesn't. You might not agree with his politics. You might not agree with how he feels about people. But the one thing I will say about Derek is he doesn't fucking lie. Like, he means what he says and he says what he means and he holds to those convictions. Now, Jill, my least favorite of the girls. I hate Jill. I hate her so much because she's married to Derek, and Derek's such a ugh. Derek, the man that, like, has to always talk about, these two always got to talk about sexuality and, like, marriage between being a man and a woman, and they always got to throw that in there, and everything's got to be about that. And, like, Derek is always, like, getting in fights about, like, transgender stuff and, like, or, you know, all that and all the LGBTQ stuff, and, like, I hate Derek. Hate him. And Jill is just, like, ugh. She has the most terrible blog, you guys. Terrible. She writes about, you know, making sure you're available to your husband always, even if you don't want to do it. You're just supposed to do it. You know, you're supposed to do it like 4 times a week if you're in Jill's house. You're supposed to clean your house if you're
all the time. Like, your house literally revolves around Derek. And, you know, make sure you put the kids to bed early so that you can pleasure your husband, like, at least 3 times a week. Did he just say that Jill could have a job? What? This cannot be. No. No. Derek did not just say that she could have a job. Did he? But wait a minute. Now, as long as let's just go there. Okay, I will. Here's the deal. Jill doesn't have an education, period. She doesn't even have a high school diploma. And so she'll never work outside of the home and she'll never be eligible to run for governor. So are his statements actually supportive of her having the option to work outside of the home? Or is he with the teachings of who? Bill Gothard. Yes, that's right, Mr. Pedophile. So a job because that's right, at age 30, he decided to go back to law school. Word on the curb is either Jill had a hysterectomy based on massive amounts of bleeding with both of her children, or Derek is just like, oh, hell no, we ain't having more than 2 kids, bitch. I mean, he probably would use the B word because men control women. Just saying. They're doing the freaky deaky. You know that they've got some crazy shit going on in that bedroom.
She told me she was never on Counting On. She was. She told me that the video was about Backwoods Barbie. Then she said it wasn't about her. She told me the comment was about Jana. Then she said it wasn't about Jana when she got blowback. I mean, that was always how it was. No, it's not. It's right there. You just can't see it because of it's not missing. It's because of the angle. It's there. Hold on. Here. This is me texting Amy. The shade. It's a comment about Jana, about not sleeping. She said, I'm going to call out something that's not right and shouldn't happen. December 11th. That is Amy, in her words, telling me that post is about Jana. I have more. Just wait. Hold on. Here's Amy asking me to go to the trial with her. I might go to the trial, might. I want to know who's testifying. I said, me too. Fly down and go with me. LOL. I might. Do you think Boob would freak? He would lose his shit, she said. I don't lie. I don't fucking lie. And I'm tired of this girl telling me that I lied. Hold on. Oh, you can't see this one. Oh my God, was that about Backwoods Barbie? LOL, yep. LOL, yep. She knew it was about her. And I don't care that Barbie knows that she hates me. She does hate me. She's friends all of her life, just obsessed about me. And I said, yep, thank you. I said, my husband said you did a great impression. And she said, thank you. She knew it was about Barbie. The whole time. Her mom knew it was about Barbie. But she goes on and says that it wasn't about Barbie. I got more. People think you're staying with me. I feel like you got heat and you blamed me. I'm moving, so it's insane time for me. Oh, I never said where I was staying. A long time ago, I said you asked me to come down, but with this, I said nothing. I don't expect to stay with anyone. I just said I don't need moral support and that we're best friends and staying with me and that I'm providing security. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I never said that. She was like getting messages from these people and it was just going on and on of me saying, I never said that, I never said that, I never said that. I can't go to trial. It really is. I don't blame you. I still haven't decided, literally. I don't think it would be safe for me. Where am I telling Amy that I'm gonna fucking stay with her? I am so tired of this girl. I have so many of these messages.
Katie Joy, you brought out DMs that prove absolutely shit. When she said to you, come up to Arkansas, LOL, whatever the fuck it was, you need to learn to read the room, girl. That's why it's important for you to get out there, socialize. You may learn how to read the room.
She says it's about Backwoods Barbie, and then a week later when she's getting shit, she says, I don't know who that was. I thought we were talking about rednecks. When we flat out had a fucking conversation and she said, yeah, I know who that girl is. I've watched her. But she threw me to the wolves because she got hate and she was losing business. She lied and said it wasn't about Jana when it was about Jana.
You heard from a previous video. She contacted Jana and she apologized. And like I say again, that's for Jana to accept or not to accept her apology. But in my eyes, she did the right thing.
I don't care about I don't care about this petty shit, but like, she's trying to disrupt anyone I speak to and saying that I'm a liar when I didn't lie. She's the one that lied. And you guys, she's going through some serious shit right now. They owe so much money. Like, she knows that. She owes money in taxes for her commercial properties that they haven't paid in 3 years. She has a huge tax lien right now for her business that she hasn't paid taxes on since she started. They have a loan out against a business that they acquired from her grandmother's death that they can't repay. She just paid off a massive IRS tax lien, and her business is falling apart because of what's happened with the Duggars. All of that is public record.
Maybe you do need to take a look at yourself. Maybe you do need to check yourself, because this is not normal. Absolutely not. So you guys, that's it. I hope that Amy and her husband do take some kind of action, because once again, I'm telling you, Amy is not innocent in any of this. She made her apologies. Between her and Bobby, they need to sort out privately, okay? But what is happening, what KJ is doing, just put yourself in Amy's shoes. If you're trying so hard, Amy and her husband, trying so hard to build a business, to do something that they're passionate about, but then you get somebody that's coming and dragging you, letting the world know your personal business. And one last thing, KJ. If you don't have a relationship with your mother and you choose to now destroy another mother, leave Miss Deanna alone. She is who she is. Because of what her nephew has done and what her brother has done, maybe she's just keeping things cordial for her nieces and nephews. Have you ever thought about that? But I think not, because that's what a despicable person you are. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and the notification bell so be notified each time I upload. Please be safe out there, you guys. Wear your mask, and don't forget, please be kind to one another and make good memories. Bye guys.